Hello guys, I hope everybody's doing well. Yes, we're still going through this global pandemic, and regardless of who you are, where you are, and what situation you're in, everybody has to pursue a good health and stay healthy, especially in this time of so many negative things going around us. The easiest way to cope with this is, some people do this, is just giving up. Some people give up on just cleaning, doing house chores, because there's so many stress going around us already. They don't want to add to that stress of their own, and they just give up. And one of the worst things that they can give up on is their health. And same thing, they give up on their health, not eating healthy, not doing any exercises, because it's stressful to keep up with all that. And it's like a negative feedback. You do that to not get stressed, but once your health goes down because of giving up, you have more stress in your body. And your body's not healthier. It's just not a good cycle. So I wanted to share bits and pieces about how to be healthy and stay healthy. I guess we can call this a series. And with that said, today's video will be the first part of it. I want to talk about posture and positioning. So I assume almost everybody heard that keeping a good posture is important, either from your parents, your teachers, your good friends out there, but it stops there. Yes, keeping a good posture is important, but people don't think further than that. And I think that's why people don't follow through as often, or fail to follow through, because there's no reasoning or motivation. And I guess that's anything in life. If there's no reason or motivation, we tend to fail to follow through more often. So right now, I'm gonna add to that phrase. Keeping a good posture is important because it keeps proper curvatures in your spine as well as making it straight. Of course, you can go further from that. Keeping proper curvatures in your spine as well as making it straight is important because that is how our body is designed. And you can go further and you can go further. But for today, I think that's a good place to stop. I am going to talk more on later videos about further topics, but I think this is a good place to stop. And that's really it. That's how your body is designed. Anything that you do against that will ultimately lead to bad health. That's not how your body's meant to live as. Yeah, that's like the core. Right before that, I talked about curvatures and straightness of the spine. And I have this to help a little bit for those visual learners out there. So your head is up here. This is your neck. This is the curve that first forms as you grow. So if you think back when you were a toddler, before you were walking, you were crawling. And you have to look where you're going, so you lift your head up. And this is the first curve that gets created just by doing that. We call it a primary curve. And after a while, you start standing up and you start walking. And this lower back curve is created from that. So you have this one and this one. They have the same shape. Let's call it a C curve on the neck and the lower back. And once these two are there, this middle curve, which is a reverse curve, reverse C, is just naturally created. These are the proper curvatures of your spine, CC and reverse C. That's when the spine is looked at from the side. When you look at it from the front, it has to be straight. It's a little bit crooked right now, but it should be straight. That's what I mean by curvatures and straightness of your spine. And anything that goes against this is a bad posture. It's bad positioning. It's easy as that. And you should keep it because that's how you're designed. Now I'm gonna give you some tips of how to get this. The first one I can give you, it's very easy. Just open your chest up. Regardless of your gender, open your chest up and immediately it's easier to create the neck curve. And also you would notice the lower back curve is easier to be formed as well. And that's it. It's close to a very good posture you can have. So that's one. And second one I want to talk about is that everything matters. Every little thing that you do in your life within that 24 hours of a day matters. One thing I can point out is everybody does this all day, every day, looking down at their phone. And this is what your neck looks like. Even more than that, actually. If you spend a lot more time, and that is not a good posture. So what you can do is just bring your phone up making sure you have that curve. I know if you do this in public, people might look at you, but really, who cares? They don't really care about your health. You should care about your health. Or if you're really one of those people that cares about how people look at you, then just don't use your phone. That's good too. Okay, that's one. And a lot of Korean guys do this. They cross their legs. I'm doing it right now, and that's really uncomfortable for me. But a lot of guys, especially Korean, this is comfortable for them. Just by looking at it, your pelvis is tilted. Your hips are unbalanced. And that's of course not a good posture. So don't do that. Talking about guys in general, they have these big fat wallets in one of their pockets, in the back pocket, and they sit on it for the entirety of their workout or their traveling hours, and your pelvis is tilted from that too, and that tilts the whole spine. Actually, your spine will be tilted, and once this is tilted, entire spine compensates. We'll talk more about the spine later, but so that's not good. Don't do that. Another thing I want to talk about is ergonomic settings in your workplace or whenever you're sitting down. A lot of people have heard that the screen level on your monitor should be your eye level. Yes, that will give you a good posture, but eventually throughout the day, your muscles fatigue and you're gonna be like this at the end of the day. So what you can do a little better is the monitor level should be at least eye level, but if you raise it up a little bit, you can actually make an artificial curve while you're working. This will help at the end of the day a little better with maintaining a good posture. One of the bigger ones for the positioning is sleep position. So you spend at least 6 hours or 7 hours in this one position. Some people move around during sleeping, so that's something else. But once you fall asleep, you spend a lot of time in that position, so it's really important. And this is what's recommended, a side position. This is the best way to keep your spine straight the whole night. So you can imagine your head is here, your legs are down here. The best way to establish this is by putting something between your knees. That will keep the hips straight. And the upper part, the pillow height should be just about your shoulder height. So if you have a broader shoulder, you might need 2 or 3 pillows just to make sure your neck stays straight. So if somebody looks at you from the side when you're lying down, your spine is straight. This is the best position. Doesn't really matter how good of a mattress you have, how expensive your pillow is. This is the only thing that matters. Next best will be on your back. But as you can see, if you lie on your back, you still need to maintain this curve and this curve. So what you can do to best establish that is put something below your knees, and that will create somewhat of a curve here. And up here, just by lying down without putting anything behind your head, you already have this curve. So I would say really shallow pillow here if you really have to put one. But even if you don't have to put one, don't put one. That's good too, because that's already a curve. So that's the second best. Don't ever sleep on your stomach. If you do that, your lower back gets flattened and you have to breathe. So your neck has to turn either way, left or right. Your spine is rotated like this for 7 hours. And of course you wake up with a stiff neck. Those are some of the things that I can point out about everything matters throughout your day. Third important thing I thought about is that you need a constant reminder to yourself. Let's say after you watch this video, you decide that you're gonna fix your posture. You're gonna make that great leap. So you fix yourself once a day. Oh man, my posture is really bad. I gotta fix myself. Open your chest. And that's it for that day. That's okay. Next day, you'll fix yourself 3 times a day. And at the end of the week, you're gonna be fixing yourself 10 times a day. That's really good progress actually. And that's it. Eventually, you make it your habit. A good posture is just something that's really natural for you now. And with that, actually, not just you will notice a difference in your health, others will notice as well. Oh, they might say, oh, hey, you have a really good posture. I've been noticing that. How do you maintain that? And you can actually tell them what to do or give them some tips. You might influence their health as well. You're gonna be like an ambassador for a good health. That's it. 3 big points. Open your chest up. Make sure your neck and low back curve is there. Second, everything matters. Every little thing that you do in your life matters. Just don't do the things that goes against how your body is designed. It's the main idea, keeping a good posture. So I hope this was somewhat informative. It's a good stepping stone into a good, healthier lifestyle. And I'll see you later in other videos. Stay healthy. Bye bye.